This is story time. I wanted to share this once before, but Christ didn't allow me to share it because he gave me a sign to let me know that it wasn't the right time to share what he wanted me to share on today. If you haven't ever had an encounter with the supernatural, you don't know what it is to be a Christian who's following Christ on a day-to-day basis. To follow Christ on a day-to-day basis, you come into all types of things. You even come in contact with people sending witchcraft to you. And some things you're delivered from with fasting and praying. And that's how I was delivered from what was sent to me, to my home, that caused me and my little boy, my baby boy, to leave home. I had some witchcraft sent to my home. And supernatural things, encounters. The Lord allowed him to hear it as well, because he wanted him to know that his mom was truly seeing and feeling what he was seeing and feeling. So I endured it for about a week until I got where I couldn't endure it any longer. I was at the house, things scratching in the walls, had a spiritual odor of dead rats. My baby boy, me and him would sleep together. He would sleep with me because of what he was fearing inside from what was going on around us. Every time I would move from the top of the bed, it'll follow me from the top of the bed to the ceiling, scratching. And I moved to the foot of the bed, it would come down there over my head in the top of the ceiling, scratching. We'll go in the restroom. I would also hear growling sounds in the spirit. My baby boy was hearing the same thing. I called a woman of God who lives in the town that I live, and was calling her to come over and pray and to tell her what was going on. She said she had other things to do. She wasn't finna come over here and all this, so she didn't. So a bishop down the street and another lady and her son came in and got to praying. And it had gotten so unbearable that I had to get out of the house. Me and my son had to get out of here for at least about a week. I went to my cousin's house, and I guess she thought I was crazy, but the Lord allowed her to hear what I was hearing. Scratching and hitting up against the wall from the next side. She lived in an apartment, and it was scratching and hitting up beside the wall in her apartment. And she said, "Girl, don't nobody stay over there. That's an empty place." I said, "Didn't I tell you? Spirits are real. They followed me from my house to her house." And God wanted her to know that what I was truly seeing and feeling was what I was truly seeing and feeling. And her eyes got that big. So I want you to know witchcraft is real. And in this evil world is full of it. But I tell you, when I prayed and fasted, I was able to come home and hadn't been afraid since. The Lord will fight your battles. I see things all the time in the supernatural spirit, and I can see demons on people. But I'm telling you, if you have never truly walked in the supernatural, you don't know what being a true Christian and following Christ is all about. Because there's levels. There's levels in the faith. And if the higher you go up, the more things you will see in the spirit that you would never have ever seen when you were just a little baby in spirit. But as you get higher and higher up, you're going to see things and hear things that other people can't see and hear. But the Lord wanted my cousin to know that I wasn't just over there out of my mind. He wanted her to know that what I was feeling, he allowed her to see it as well. and feel the same thing. So I wanted to share this with you. We must have a prayer life. And if you don't have a prayer life, you won't be able to make it in this life, in these end times. We have to stay in prayer. And we have to fast when God say fast. When he put us up on our spirits to fast, we must fast and pray. Fasting and praying are the only things that can remove things that's so stubborn. That's very stubborn. That's the only thing that can remove it is fasting and praying. Nothing can do it but that. So I want you to know that witchcraft is real. Witchcraft is real. But the higher you go up in Christ, the tougher the skin is in the spirit realm. The tougher, the things you can see that won't alarm you like other things would. I hear things all the time and I just go on about my business. But my son heard it too. He was afraid. He was a little boy. He was afraid. And we left this house for a week. But when I prayed and I fasted, I was able to return to my house and had not left since. And I give praises and honor to Christ, who's ahead of my life, that lets me know that the supernatural, the spirit realm, is just as real or realer than the physical aspects of life. If you have never endured supernatural encounters, you really, truly don't know what walking with Christ is all about. Because you must endure. You must go through. And if you hadn't seen it, you hadn't seen it. When you do, the only way through it is to fast and pray. The Lord knows what to do. But like I said, my cousin, at first she thought I was kind of crazy. But when I got over there in her house and she started seeing things and hearing things that don't normally be, all the scratching and stuff I was telling her about, and she got scared, her eyes got that big. Let me tell you, the supernatural, the spirit world is much more alive than this physical world. Take it or leave it. We must pray, we must fast, we must do what Christ tells us to do. But like I said, I've seen witchcraft at its best. People sending things to your house and allowing things to come that you would normally see. You can't say you are truly walking with Christ if you've never experienced the supernatural. The supernatural is more real than the natural. So I just wanted to say this. I wanted to record this video earlier, but Christ allowed something, gave me like the light went off, or he gave me a sign that it wasn't time. So he allowed this video to be made today. So I guess this is the time. He didn't cut it off. He didn't allow my phone to keep shutting off. He wanted me to deliver this message, which means everything has to be given to us in season. If it's out of season, it's not going to have the effect on us as it would if it was in season. Supernatural world is very real. It's much realer than the natural experience. I've seen it. And I thank the Lord that I am where I am, because it's going to be so much coming upon this earth that if you are not in prayer and if you are not truly walking with Christ, it's going to make your heart quit. The Bible says you're going to have a heart attack because you can't take what you see. It's going to scare you. So don't think we can walk through this life without having a prayer life and we're going to be successful and we're going to make it, because there's some things on this earth already that hasn't come out yet. But the veil is being lifted. The spiritual world is being even lifted even more. You're going to start seeing things manifest that you've never seen before in your life. So prepare yourself with fasting and prepare yourself with prayer. And most of all, prepare yourself with the encounters of Christ on a day-to-day basis. Until next time, thanks for watching.